Michael, I just want to loop back to something quick earlier, and then ask you a final question. And
Yeah.
as always, really thank you for doing this. But I want to say earlier that, of course, you're 100% right that this ecological crisis reflects, our relationship to the environment. And then, of course, as you've pointed out in all of your work again and again and again, the people who are going to face the consequences first are the people that are most vulnerable and the people who've had the least to do with creating the crisis we're in. So I just wanted to echo that part of it too. But could we just talk about Flint for a minute? There's new revelations
Yeah.
on the scale to which Governor Rick Schneider was lying, and Flint, partially because of its character as a city, and also because of your work and the activism there. We've got these point. I want you to talk about those new revelations, but you could place it in the context of your work on how Flint was destroyed by trade agreements and GM. And frankly, in your last one of your last films, I can't get that sight of President Obama drinking that glass of water out of my head.
I know. It sort of broke my heart. I voted for him twice. I love him, actually. I don't have a problem saying that. Is he me? No. Is he you? No. Would we have done things differently? Yes, probably. But it was a historic moment, and one I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. And when it came time to having to show what he did, coming to Flint and taking sips of water from a glass he said was Flint water, which my sources tell me the water came from Air Force One. There's no water in that school that he was speaking at. They had turned it off a year ago, except for the toilets. I don't think they handed him toilet water. It was so despair. It's look, here's all I can say is what I'm here to do. I have spent my life presenting the awful truths. And only when we can confront what happens on our side are we going to move on to the real victories that we need to have. So through my films, I don't give liberals a pass.
Right.
Even if I like them, even if I agree with 90% of what they do and what they stand for, when they're in the way, I mean, this is really the point of this film right now, Planet of the Humans. People are going to be surprised when they see this film. Just like people were surprised with my film Sicko. I think people went to that film thinking it was going to be a movie about people without health care. It was a movie about people with health care and how they're not going to get the care they need.
Right.
But Planet of the Humans says, perhaps we've been on the wrong road to fighting climate change, to fighting these things, that we're losing the battle. And you know what? If you can't admit that we're losing the battle, that's going to be a big problem because we're never going to be able to fix it. And we've had 50 years of Earth Days. We've had all this environmental stuff that we've all been part of. I've been part of it. But where are we? We were told a decade ago that we can't let the atmosphere go above 350 parts per million of carbon in the atmosphere. We're at 410 now. We were told that if we went past 350, there was no turning back. We're way beyond that.
Right.
And, I think, isn't this, I don't know, isn't this the first step in any recovery program that you first have to admit that you have a problem? We have a problem. We have a problem. And it's okay if the good-hearted, well-intentioned environmentalists who have focused so much on one aspect of this and have ignored the other aspects, mainly greed, the profit motive, capitalism, that's at the core of corporate America and the wealthy trying to take over and co-opt our environmental movement. And it has slowed us down. And this movie it's a bitter pill to swallow, but we have to swallow it. You can't cure your cancer unless you're willing to acknowledge that you've got cancer.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think we're in a situation where the Republicans won't acknowledge we have cancer, and the Democrats go, "Man, we have cancer. Let's go light up another cigarette." So, Michael Moore, appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for having me on, and I encourage people. The movie's free. It was made by my friend Jeff Gibbs. We're all lifelong environmentalists, but we're not afraid to be self-critical and to say, is there another path we should be on? Because we seem to be losing this battle. I refuse to lose it, and I will not be in bed with Wall Street, hedge funds, corporate America, and people, the Michael Bloombergs, who've tried to co-opt the environmental movement by making it appear that he's doing good things. And so this film gets into it. It's uncomfortable, but we need to be a little uncomfortable, because I think when you're done watching this movie, you're going to be motivated to act, not to sink into despair, but to say, what can I do? What can I do? And get together with other like-minded people. And don't depend on the national organization or this charismatic leader or whatever. You and your neighbors can form your own environmental group. You in your towns can do this. You can meet tomorrow night. You don't have to be sanctioned by anybody. Sit around and make a list of what needs to be done in your town, in your neighborhood, and then get busy. And don't allow yourself to be co-opted by, people that, again, are well-intentioned, but they've lost the battle. They need to admit that, and it's the best way to move on. And I'm going to be involved in this. Everybody is. We've been involved in it our whole lives. I was part of the first Earth Day, and I remember how excited I was. And we did some good things in the early years, and then I think we lost our way, and that's why we're so far behind the 8 ball now. We've got to fix this. So, anyways, the movie's out. It's free. It's on my YouTube channel. Jeff and I and Ozzy, we don't want anything for this. We just want people to watch it and then talk. Let's start this discussion. And maybe we can not experience the calamities that we're going to see, like COVID-19. This will be child's play compared to what we can't even imagine. And I'm not talking about wildfires in California or floods in the South. What the climate emergency is going to do to us, we can't even fathom right now. And we're going to wish that we got busy thinking about other paths we need to be taken to shut down those who are destroying this planet.
Michael Moore, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for having me. And anybody who's watching, if you haven't subscribed to Jacobin, this is one of the best publications in the country. I'm a big supporter of it, and honored that you would have me on here today.
Thanks, man. All right, folks, we're going to take a brief break, and we're going to come back. We still have time to do a little bit of salt. Anna and I are going to bring that to you. We'll be right back. Hit subscribe. Hit like if you haven't done it yet.